Hey everyone, this is Dave with Unfiltered. First of all, I want to thank our sponsors, Relive Medical and Carol Semple Productions, and you can check out their information below. So how many spectators back then?
It was all recorded, just stuff.
Oh gosh, it was huge.
It was back then?
The Arnold and the Olympia, it was packed.
Really?
Oh, it was packed. Sold out.
About the same as it is, or bigger venues now? Probably.
You know, because you have to think, so back then when I did the Arnold, the Friday was fitness. There was no figure or anything, but Friday was fitness and the Miss Olympia. And so we had our pre-judging in the expo hall. That was in 97. 97 was the first year that they actually moved to the convention center. Prior to that, 94, 95, 96, it was still at Veterans Memorial Auditorium.
Wow.
And Veterans Memorial's no longer there at the Arnold. Everything's at the convention center now. But 97 was the first year that they had the whole pre-judging at the expo hall.
Did they have all the like the expo?
Oh yeah.
They had.
Yep.
Man,
Yep.
I didn't.
The
I
Arnold
figured it'd
was
be much bigger now.
It is. Well, it is much bigger now because
Okay.
back then your line to get into the Arnold might have just been like down the hall of the convention center, and now the line to get in, it wraps. I mean, it's probably a mile long, wrapping all around. I mean, it's crazy.
There was 18,000 professional athletes that competed at the Arnold Classic last year.
In 3 days. In 3 days.
Wow.
And they had, back when I was competing in the Arnold, I think they said like 12,000 athletes that were competing over the 3 days. There's more sporting events and more athletes that compete in the Arnold in 3 days than who compete in 2 weeks in the Summer Olympics.
Jeez.
It's crazy. And now the spectators, I think back in
They
the
might have some
90s,
events on Thursday night now. It's like
I
Thursday
think
night
because
is
they
like-
have a lot of the
yeah.
NPC that they're broadening
Right.
it out to.
Well,
to
they also
more.
allow like young children to come and experience it, like the all-star
Right.
cheerleading teams
Oh,
will
that's
also
cool.
come out and stuff like
Nice.
that.
Well, and several
So-
years ago they started a teen fitness pageant at the Arnold, and I judged the first 2 years. Last year I modeled for Jantana for her body painting revolution,
Nice.
and then hopefully I
We need
know
pictures of that.
And then
Yeah,
hopefully,
I may have seen one.
hopefully this year I'll be back judging the teen fitness pageant again. But it's
It's a neat
just
experience for
amazing
kids.
to see how, I mean, it's, the Arnold has this whole separate venue at Ohio State University
Right.
where it's all kids. It's
Wow.
all kids event, everything relating to kids fitness. I mean, from cheerleading to fencing. I mean, everything kids related. It's
Good.
crazy.
Good.
It's unbelievable
That's
how
awesome.
many cool events there are.
It's a, you know what it is. I think also it's a great time for other sports to come
see
and
what
come
else
and
is
see
out
what
there.
bodybuilding is about, because bodybuilding is the #1 sport that everyone's like, oh, what.
Yeah.
It's the biggest changes in your body that people see, and people don't understand it. People don't realize what the truth is behind it and what effort and time it takes. So it's
Right.
nice to see, a lot of kids there, and of course, these monsters are walking by, and they're so, just to understand and to know how hard it is for these people, and how wonderful these women are, even though they have muscle. But now it's obviously, look at our society now, things are really starting to adapt more, but we could have done a better job of getting it started on TV. Like, we were working with Dwayne Johnson, and that was the plan. The plan was for it to be on NBC Sports, and something had fell through. But with even that being said, I think it's on its way to growing even more.
Yeah. I think when you open it up to the different levels of the physique, where you have from bikini to female bodybuilding, you then open it up to
It's just
more
like a
people.
category between
you
every
know.
category that we have now,
Yeah.
Right.
and you can just be a little smaller,
Yeah.
It's but it's. I think you just open it up to be more mainstream to more people.
Yeah.
Where back when I was competing and it was just bodybuilding and fitness.
Well, the look was more mainstream then, but now it's just evolved so much that you didn't even think about it.
The female bodybuilders were not getting they almost had, there was all this, they tried to get this fight between female bodybuilders and fitness. And it was interesting because after I won the Olympia, me and Kim Shevesky, who was the current Miss Olympia bodybuilder back then, we did a little interview for Muscle Mag. And it was just kind of bantering back, and it was very cool bantering back and forth, bodybuilding versus fitness.
Right.
And just, the bottom line is the female bodybuilders, I got along great with them because I had so much respect for them, because I knew that I would not be there had it not been for the female bodybuilders. There were other fitness girls that had this attitude like, oh, we're better than you, and it was a little bit of a animosity between the female bodybuilders and the fitness girls.
And I'm glad you share that, because that was my 4th year being behind stage at Olympia, and it's really changed I feel like people are a lot more supportive of each other, and there's never a comparison anymore between bikini or figure or this or that.
That's good.
Never anymore.
Yep.
But which is really great. But I mean, yeah, it has become a more of like a team thing where, especially when you travel outside the country. When we were in Australia, I had brought my husband with, and that's when we had our honeymoon as well. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, what an environment! People you had never spoken to. Everybody was like this. All of us girls were like this. There was an ease of, there was no stress. There was nothing. It felt so different, and it was because we were all so far from home.
Yep.
Right.
So it was just
That's
like a
cool.
little.
That's how it should
was.
be. It should be. Everybody's, yes, you're going to compete
you know
against
what?
each other, but you all work
Dave, I'm not
so
losing because
hard.
of you. You're not losing because of
Right.
me. You're losing because of yourself. So
Right, exactly.
all the, if she worked harder than you, too bad, Ivana.
And everybody worked hard, right? And
Yes.
it's just a matter of, okay, who was better that day?
Some of them have ridiculous genetics, but
Yes.
True. Yes.
But even with the best genetics in the world,
It doesn't
if you don't have that mental drive and you don't have that dedication and you don't have that focus and you don't have that desire to be the best genetics in the world are not.
I mean,
gonna
even you
overcome
can
that.
say yourself, with being Miss Olympia, it's not just about being Miss Olympia, but it's about being able to be Miss Olympia and still stay who you are and be respectful to the people that you think are below you. No one is actually below you, but sometimes a lot of women and men who I've known personally who have become Olympians and have changed, and then you're like, well, that was the kind of way to fool everybody. Like, I don't care, but you fooled everybody.
Yeah.
And that to me hurts, because then there's little girls that are like, oh, I follow so and so and I'm so inspired them, and I'm thinking like, I know that person and they're terrible. And that's what it is. And then again, that comes to that person. But if you are Miss Olympia or Mr. Olympia and you have the chance to represent such a hard, big category, then you should do a good job of it and make sure.
It's in any sport, right? You're a professional athlete. People look up to you. You have a responsibility.
Absolutely.
As that person. If you don't respect that responsibility, you should not be a professional athlete.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we see a lot of that going in all sports.
Sometimes you just have to laugh.
And you just, sometimes
you're like,
it's
I give
what
up.
are they thinking? So yeah, I think we look at it and we say, some of these people that are in positions of, I don't want to say power, but influence,
Or become
shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
They should not be there.
If you are in a power influence, oh my gosh, take advantage of it and spread good things to people.
Absolutely, that's what you're.
Because people do listen. I mean, of course, I don't have that many followers, but I'm
you do good,
60-something thousand followers, and my fans are so good to me because I've made it stay that way, and I haven't changed who I am just because of small little things
Right.
or big events that have occurred in my life that
Right.
people would just take, for granted and think they're this and that, and it's like, no, at the end of the day, we're really nobody. I would try to explain this, like, even for our listeners to know, if you guys follow people on social media, really dig deep to find out who they are, because sometimes you might just be, following just the very wrong person and who is being a negative impact on your life, not a positive. And
Right.
now we have so many influencers.
There are so many
a lot.
influencers.
And I think that
And some bad ones.
I
man.
think that just because you are a champion doesn't mean that you truly are a champion.
Yes.
Because I think if you win something and you're so-called champion, that doesn't mean that you're a champion for like who you are
Right.
and for other people. I think there's a big difference there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people become a champion and then, like you said,
Absolutely.
they think that they're all that in a bag of chips, and
No.
unfortunately.
And I think it's all.
And that all comes to an end too.
Hey, yeah.
I think it comes down to, and this is kind of the, we'll kind of tie this up. Why did you go after that accomplishment in the first place? Was it for the notoriety, for the money, for the, I'm special, I'm better than everybody else? Or is it, yes, that's all good, some of that's good, but like for me, I'm just going to use myself as an example. I'm 52 years old. I'm an IFBB men's physique pro, which I'm so proud of myself for getting that at my age. But I still compete not to win anything, because I know I'm not going to ever make it to the Olympia. But I want to influence people my age or 40s and up that I see every day that say, throw their hands up and go, I'm too old, can't do it, right? And I'm thinking, yes, you can. It's going to be tough. Yes, we don't have what the 20s and the 30-year-olds have. We might have to work a little harder to get there, but you can still accomplish some of those goals. You don't have to throw your hands up and just lay down and say, I'm done.
Yep.
And unfortunately, a lot of their doctors and a lot of their other, support staff, what am I saying? Just their support system,
friends, family.
are telling them the same thing.
Yep.
No, you can't do that. No, you shouldn't work out that way. No, you're never going to make it there.
Sometimes the closest people to you can
Are the
be
worst.
Are the worst and the ones that sabotage.
I mean,
you
I'll
the
even
most.
say it when I first started competing. Like, I openly talk about this all the time. Is my mother was like, "What are you doing? Don't do this. Like, you're hurting your body. You're doing this. You're doing that." But then when she started realizing how much success I was having, but it's not about the success to me. It was about I was enjoying it.
Yes, and that's
I
the thing.
loved
You
it.
have to enjoy it.
Find
But
something you're passionate about.
Even off the topic of even that, but just to share with everyone, if I could go back, I would never take anything back in my life. The worst, the good, the bad doesn't matter. If I could take one thing back, it would be taking care of myself right when I started competing. If you choose to compete, even right now, I take 0 clients on unless they're going to get their blood work done. And that was something I feel like I was a victim of, and I didn't, especially in Iowa, I didn't have the resources, and it's grown now a lot. There's clinics everywhere, all these things. But that was my biggest mistake, Dave, and I've told you this personally.
Yes,
because I'm like, God, where would I be today if I would have taken that consideration the first day I started competing? I think I'd already be Miss Olympia. I would know that why my body was struggling these years, or why it's like I was gaining muscle, what was happening, all these things. I would have figured it out. So whether it is for competing or not competing, get your blood work checked. I mean, since I've been with you, I have met 10 of my new clients now that they're 50 years old, 60 years old, 40 years old, 30 years old. Body is at 30 and acting like it's 60. What's going on? And then depression comes, especially as a female, but a male too. Of course, with the testosterone levels. And then you come to find out, it's like, you've been struggling so much. Your body has been in so much deficit. And that's why you're not mentally functioning. That's why you're stressed. That's why your life is where it's at, because you haven't been taking care of you. So if I could give any advice, that would absolutely be it. It's on a joke. And once you know what's going on inside your body that you're stuck in forever, you feel so much better about yourself. You know that you can take action now. Now I know that there's something that I can do. And in 2018, 19 now, we have resources for everything.
Right.
And people can't afford blood work. When people say, I can't afford it. Bullshit. They don't have the other things that you're doing in your life.
Right.
It's really, I'm very thankful. I was even telling her outside, I'm like, it's changed my life.
Yeah.
It's totally made me perceive things a different way, and now I'm like, I don't want to take on clients if I don't know what's going on with your body.
Absolutely.
And that's a good...
Especially people who are working so hard, and
Yeah.
you're like, I'm sorry, but there's something wrong inside of you.
You're on that hamster wheel, just spinning. You got to find answers.
And if you go to a trainer and they're trying to put you on different supplementation without having any type of blood work done or anything like that, I mean,
Please don't.
Yeah.
please run away from that person as fast as you can. Go through.
But if you can share with people even the importance of what happens with you mentally when even your thyroid, your testosterone, your estrogen levels are, if you can share that with people a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's, one thing you have to know, and this doesn't go just for competitors, okay? If you want to compete in a show, if you want to get on stage, if you want to do something, if you want to, really, to be honest with you, if you want to do a marathon, if you want to do a Tough Mudder, if you want to do any of those things.
Do you want to be a good mother for a long time to your children?
I mean, yeah, it's get labs done. And with Relive, we don't really care where the labs come from. We would like to have certain labs done because, unfortunately, a lot of your primary care physicians, a lot of your doctors out there are kind of hamstrung by insurance companies, and they are not allowed to pull certain labs because the insurance won't cover it. So call us, talk to us, let us walk you through certain things. We can get the labs done here. We don't take insurance, but we can help you. We can direct you the right way. If you can't afford a big panel.
Do you offer payment plans?
We don't right now.
You don't, okay.
Credit
That's
card.
a question I have.
But I do work. I mean, yeah, credit card.
I know there's a lot of people who do like
HSA accounts.
care.com, things like that. I just
Yeah,
wasn't
and
sure.
we've looked into that, and there's a chance that we're going to probably
Do the care card.
bring one of those in that will give you basically a payment plan. And I will personally, as a company, we will work with you on it. We don't ever want the price. Our labs are very affordable. We don't try to make money on our labs like some other people.
And you know why Dave's going to do this, you guys? Because you're going to feel better. And then when you feel better, you're going to go tell other people about it. And then other people are going to come in here.
And yes, we are a business. Yes, we're a medical clinic that needs to make money to stay alive. But we're more about
helping.
We want to help people. We want to make sure that you're healthy, that your wellness is there to take you into your older years without diseases that are going to come on. That's why our tagline, Proactive Health Restoration, is what we do. We're trying to prevent stuff from happening down the road by doing some right things now.
It's the best way to do it.
And these people, there's also people out there who are like, well, why should I be putting something into my body? You know, people don't have the wrong perspective on what is actually going inside their body. So kind of explain though, like your body is just like a car. You got to change the oil. Things have to work optimal. So if they're not everything is working optimal. One thing's off, it's going to affect other things in your body. So kind of explain that too. I think people have that fear of, well, I might be injecting something, or I might be taking something every day. Here is somebody that this is their response. Well, that means I'm becoming dependent on something. Because people think drugs, they think of drugs of what people are abusing and hurting themselves.
Right.
They don't think of drugs that can benefit your body.
Well, doing the stuff that we do here, most of it's all bioidentical anyway. So it's the same thing that you're producing in your body naturally. We want to keep it that way.
Right there.
And it's no different. Hormone optimization, certain weight loss products and treatments are all things that are going to work synergistically in your system. That's what we make sure of. We want everything to work synergistically and not affect other systems. But really, it's no different than you going home and have a headache and taking Tylenol. Have you ever looked at I get this all the time, right? What are the side effects? What's going to happen? It's like, listen, there's less side effects and things that can happen by doing this hormone optimization and some of the weight loss treatments, anti-aging treatments, than going home and taking a Tylenol. Look at the side effects and the bad things that happen with Tylenol.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not knocking Tylenol because there's definitely a place for it, but come on, people. Just because it's different doesn't mean it's wrong.
Well, and I don't think it's different.
Well, it's not different.
I think it's for most people these days. They think it's probably something that they don't need, or they think of what they hear.
Well, unfortunately, their doctors are telling them.
Here's my favorite.
And there's pro athletes that you hear. Oh, you know, they were found doing growth hormone. They were found doing testosterone. They look at what these pro athletes were doing, that they're doing to enhance their athletic performance. But what they don't realize is as we age, our growth hormone levels, our testosterone, our estrogen, depending on male or female, they automatically decline, and it's one of the reasons why
might be born with
age.
small levels.
Absolutely.
They don't even know it their whole life.
Absolutely, and it's something that when done right, when done with a clinic like what you guys have here with Relive, that you're doing something that is going to be huge benefit to your health and to anti-aging. There's nothing wrong with coming and checking out, doing the blood work and seeing where your levels
This
are.
is the next new thing. I mean, this is the best thing that's happened in our society are these clinics.
Yes.
Look at it like this. Somebody who's sick all the time and they run to the doctor and are getting antibiotics, this and that. Or that's what they're doing now, but why don't they come in a place like this and take vitamin C shots every day and it boosts their immune system so they're not getting sick?
Right.
I mean, it's just the way our society has kind of put, all their drugs or their this, that people don't understand. People need to learn more. I learned this year about injectable vitamins. It's the best thing I've ever learned about.
Yeah.
It's the best thing I've invested in.
Well, and people don't know. So it's a matter of education. You get a cold and you go to the doctor and you get antibiotics.
And who knows what gives you, what those antibiotics are doing to your body.
It's just a matter of education. It's a matter of getting the word out. It's a matter of, you're just slowly, spreading the word. I tell 5 people, they tell 5 people, and you're getting the word out of what a benefit it is as you get older, or if you're younger and have low levels, to get yourself into the optimal levels.
So I was talking to my mom last night, and I just talk, but then sometimes I say intelligent things. And so we were talking
Just
about
Dave?
sometimes.
Just sometimes.
but so we're talking about doctors, and we're talking about my sister has some issues with her gut, and Relive just will kind of make an announcement which we've already I think been advertising it, but we're bringing in a lot of gut health things to our office. We're working with a lab that specializes in food sensitivity, food allergy, gut health, neuro health, and we do labs to kind of find out what's going on. But let's think about that. You go to your doctor's office. Why typically do you go to your doctor's office? Because you have a problem, right? Doctors are scheduling every 15 minutes, right? So they don't have time for to sit with you like we do and talk about what's going on, what's happening here, what's this. What you go in, you say, I'm tired, I don't feel right, I'm having problems sleeping, yada, yada, yada. What do?
Boom, sleeping pill.
They could be sleeping pills, right?
Yeah.
Antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications. That's what they're throwing at these people. What if, and I was telling my mom this last night, what if we could determine what is the problem? Okay? Not let's deal with the symptoms and just put a Band-Aid on that and make sure you don't have that that tiredness or that headache or whatever it is that you went in for the doctor for. What if we could actually get down to the root problem of, okay, this is where the problem is. If we can take care of this, you don't ever have to take that medication anymore.
Yep. Well, it's the same thing.
You're not going to see that.
Same thing with high blood pressure. What's the first thing? You go to a doctor, you have high blood pressure. What's the first thing they do? They give you high blood pressure medication.
Put you on some high blood pressure medication.
But if you changed your lifestyle, if the doctor took the time to say, hey, let's look at what their lifestyle is, and they worked on changing that lifestyle, they could lower their blood pressure just by changing their lifestyle.
And a lot of people do
call that
right?
running from the problem.
Yeah.
Like you say blood pressure, I think instantly of my twin brother. He likes to eat the smoked meat, and you guys have no idea how bad his blood pressure is out the roof because of his sodium intake. I mean, the doctor's like, you've got to stop. Your decisions on what you eat have to change, and he knows this. And it's like, okay, so you're going the route that you think is easiest and just taking these and still eating like crap.
Right.
But you're not understanding how it's going to affect you in the long run.
And that's the